Hello and welcome to my channel, Savvy Selena. In today's video, I'm sharing with you our 2021 sinking fund plus a Q3 update. Since I just started my channel in July, I haven't had an opportunity yet to share with you our savings goals for this year. But don't fret, this is that video. Recently on my Instagram, I asked you, my followers, what was your primary financial goal for this year? It was almost a 50-50 split between paying off debt and saving money. I'll say for us, our primary goal at the beginning of the year was to pay off debt. However, we've had a lot of momentum in that area and our debt progress is going awesome. But for savings, we've taken a major hit. I'm going to share with you how much we've saved so far in each of our funds, how much we spent so far this year in our funds, and our financial goals for each of our savings accounts. Before I jump into the video, please, if you're not yet one of my Savvy subscribers, hit that subscribe button below. And also smash that like button. It helps out my channel and it lets me know that you're enjoying this content. Now, let's jump into the sinking fund. Our first fund is our 3-month emergency fund. Here, me and my husband are trying to save $18,000. So far this year, we've had to withdraw $5,400, 100% because of car repairs. Both my husband and I drive older cars, and I needed my transmission replaced, and he needed a brand new engine. Overall, it cost us $10,000, but some of that was paid back in 2020. This year, we paid $5,400, leaving a balance in our emergency fund of $5,623. This leaves us about 31% of our goal to reach $18,000, and we're hoping to reach that next year. Our next savings account is our car maintenance fund. And here we have a savings goal of about $5,000. This fund was obviously birthed after all of our car issues that we've had. We really wanted to build up a really good nest egg just for our cars alone. As like I said, we do drive older cars. Now, eventually I think that this will roll over into our emergency fund, but it makes me feel better to make sure that we do have a nest egg set aside specifically for our cars. Because we just started this fund, we have not pulled any money out of it this year, and any car maintenance issues that we do have, we are pulling from our emergency fund just so that we can beef this up. And we have a current balance in this account of $490. This puts us about 9% to our goal. This is one of our lower priority goals, and we're trying to just save about $70 a month until we get to $5,000, as our most important goal is our emergency fund. Next up is our travel fund. Here, we don't really have a savings goal. We just try to make sure that we're putting something aside each month for travel. Our goal is to do about $125 per month. So far this year, we've only spent $487, and that was for 2 plane tickets to Denver. Me and my husband are traveling there at the end of September, so stay tuned for that because I do plan to do a travel budget video. You can see that we have $2,537 in this account. And this is pretty beefed up because my husband and I are taking a trip at the end of this month, as well as we were married last year and still didn't go on our honeymoon. So we do have money set aside for travel. Next up is our health and medicine sinking fund. I've mentioned before that on this channel that my husband is a type 1 diabetic, and last year he was in the hospital. That was very unexpected and eye-opening to me, and I would really like to make sure that we have money set aside specifically for our health needs. I would like to have this fund at $5,000 as well. Again, similar to our car maintenance fund, I do believe that this will be rolled into our emergency fund. However, just because of our particular health, I would like to make sure that we have money set aside. This is not something I want to be scrambling for at the last minute. Again, we are slowly trying to build this up over time, as our emergency fund is our first priority, and so we've been putting about $50 a month into this fund. Right now, we haven't spent any money from it, and it has a balance of $300. That makes us about 6% to our goal. Now, we have our Christmas sinking fund. Now, we have a small goal for this compared to others of $600. Please know that I am not big on giving gifts at Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Christmas music, movies, food, but I'm not a fan of the gift-giving culture. I think it's a time of love and family, and so we really try to limit how much we spend on Christmas gifts for people, including the children. So far this year, we've been saving $50 a month towards our Christmas goals, and at one point this year, we put in $100 again to beef that up. We are currently at $450, which makes us 75% of our goal. We may decide to add some more money into this in October and November just to be done before Christmas. However, if we only finish this in Christmas, I think that would be just on time. Next, we have our clothing sinking fund, and we don't have a goal for this sinking fund either. We just try to put about $50 a month to the side for clothes for my husband and myself. We're not big shoppers, but we do want to have the opportunity to purchase something if we have a big event coming up or if we see something that we really like. So far this year, we spent $50 from this fund, and that leaves us with a balance of $300. Next is one of my favorite sinking funds, which is Candle Day. So I've been saving $10 every month towards a goal for $120. So in December, when Bath & Body Works has their huge candle sale, I'm able to get all the candles I want. Currently in this fund, I have $90 as I haven't spent any money this year. Now, to be honest, I've been inspired by so many other YouTubers to shop small, so I'm really thinking about taking this opportunity to buy some candles from some small businesses instead of going to a big store. I might do 50-50, I'm not quite sure, but I would like to support some small businesses with this money, so I may choose to do that. Next up, we have our Effort Bucket, which is really a sinking fund. That's our splurge account. We use this fund to buy anything and everything we want. However, we haven't spent any money from this account so far this year. We are currently saving about $50 a month and have a balance of $400. Now, the first 8 sinking funds I've shared with you are our top priority ones. I still have 4 more to share with you, but please note that the next 4 are ones that we have either decommissioned or not funding mostly at all this year. But we have put money and spent money from these categories, so I think it's still important to share. Next, we have our Kids Sinking Fund. Originally, we had a savings goal of $400, and this was to pay for their birthday party. However, we actually cash flowed their birthday party, so we haven't withdrawn any of the funds. We currently have $250 sitting in their sinking fund. Now, we may use this to pay for winter clothes or maybe even Christmas gifts, but we could also use this money to catch up on our emergency fund savings. Not sure yet, but we're keeping our options open. After kids, we have our card, taxes, and registration fees. Now, we originally started this sinking fund with the goal of putting $25 per month into an account. And then we sort of realized that that wasn't enough to cover our card, taxes, and registration. So we completely ditched this sinking fund as it wasn't going to get us to our needs. We also know that we can cash flow those expenses through our budget, so we really didn't see the need to save for it every single month. Again, we drive older cars, so our property taxes aren't that high. We currently have $125 sitting in our car, taxes, and registration sinking fund, but I'm almost positive we're gonna move this to our emergency fund. Now we have our moving fund, and this is where things get a little bit tricky. So in 2020, my husband and I knew that we wanted to move from our house into a new house. And so we started to build up a really good moving fund. This was to cover security deposit, first month's rent, plus U-Haul, packaging supplies, the whole 9. But then COVID happened. And so we put a pause on moving because we weren't quite sure what was gonna happen in the world. Then we noticed that rent prices were starting to rise. And to make ourselves feel a little bit more comfortable, we established a moving fund in 2021 just to beef up for those new COVID price increases. So we had a goal of $900 just to add and tack on to our security deposit and first month's rent. Now, just to give you perspective, our budget in 2020 for moving was about $1,500 a month. But when we were looking for houses during COVID, we saw that those same houses were now $1,800 a month. Luckily, we ended up with a place that was about $1,600 a month, and so we were able to use some of the moving fund to buy things for the house that we didn't have before, like shelf for our garage and things that new houses require. So we spent ultimately this year $3,998 from our moving fund, leaving a balance of $0. And this fund has been decommissioned. We do not plan on adding any more to it. And our last sinking fund of this year was gifts. Now, we didn't have a goal for this. We wanted to make sure we were putting money away throughout the year to buy gifts for other people, and we chose about $50 a month to do that. However, it was just terrible. It was like as soon as we put the $50 in the account, there was an event. There was a birthday, anniversary, just something. And so we started to really just cash flow all of the gifts, and we continued to do so. So I just nixed the sinking fund because we weren't really using it because we didn't have time to build it up. Now, we could have probably continued to cash flow the gifts and still save to build up a nest egg in our gift sinking fund. But with all of the sinking funds and saving priorities we had this year, it just didn't seem like the best thing to do. So I decided to let it go, and maybe we'll have it in the future. Not quite sure. So that is our 2021 sinking funds and our Q3 update. I will be back at the end of the year to give an update on how much we ended up saving in each of our sinking funds, and to let you know what we decide to do with the funds that have money in them but we're no longer contributing to or don't plan to use for those purposes. Until next time, stay savvy, and I'll see you later.